I'm gonna be so honest. I went way over my head with my reading goal this year. And now that I'm getting back into the swing of things after almost 2 months of the worst book slump I've ever had, I realize that I am 20 books behind schedule. But I am nothing if not persistent, and you better believe that I'm going to do my darndest to get to 100 books this year. So I figured, what better way to read more books than to pack it all into 24 hours? Welcome to my 24-hour readathon. I personally very much enjoy sleep. So I will not be doing 24 hours in a row. This is a very common thing that people do now. They will just like start a timer and then see how many books they can read in this period of 24 hours, but usually it takes a few days for them to get through that. I'm gonna break it up into 8 hours, 8 hours, 8 hours. So this is gonna be over the span of 3 days, and my goal is to read 8 hours every day, and then that would be 24 hours, and then we'll see how many books I can read in the span of 24 hours. I'm just gonna pick up whatever book sounds good. I do have a few books checked out from the library that I have to read in the next few days, so I'll probably try and get to those, but at least for my first book, I'm gonna read Better Than Fiction, because I've been wanting to read this book for so long. It's just a romance book, which is good because I feel like I can get through romances pretty fast. There's no like world building that I have to wrap my head around. And also it's just adorable. Look at it. It's like they're in a cute little red bookstore, and this little guy, I don't even know who he is. Drew Young is a self-proclaimed book hater, but she inherited her grandma's bookstore called The Book Nook. And then there's a best-selling author named Jasper Williams. Also, Drew and Jasper are the cutest names ever. I just love that. Okay, anyways. He is a hopeless romantic. He meets Drew at a Book Nook signing event and becomes determined to show her the beauty of reading. He curates a book bucket list in exchange for helping her explore the local Denver scene. And he's gonna use it in his current manuscript. You can't tell me that's the most adorable plot for a romance book you've ever heard in your life. A blind optimism to blame in your sick need. I got a timer. I can't use my phone's timer because I'm using my phone to film, so we're gonna use my laptop's timer. Hopefully I don't have to use my laptop at all. Actually, I think it will just run in the background. Okay. That did nothing. There we go.
Sunrise is 4 a.m. You see, get in the car, we can run away. I hardly even knew you, but I knew that I can't lose you.
So it's been about an hour, and I got to chapter 5, and let me just say, I'm loving this book, okay? I'm hoping that by the end of this book, she is an emotional wreck and the guy can comfort her. I know it sounds dark, but you gotta admit it, that's what we all want. When we read books like this, we just want the characters to, Anyways, I really want a pumpkin spice chai latte right now, so I'm gonna go get one of those. The good news is I did get the audiobook for this book. I checked it out a few days in advance. I'm just so on top of things for this video, you guys. So I will be listening to the audiobook while I drive there because obviously it is not safe to read and drive. Sadly, some people don't understand that. I see a lot of people reading while they're driving. I'm just kidding. I've literally never, I don't think it's possible. Okay, let's go.
For 1 or 2, maybe 3 years, I've been feeling nothing at all, but then I saw your face lighting up my space. Got me going like that, lighting up my space. You do like a
The main character in this book doesn't like reading, and she is constantly calling me out, bro. She's like, Yeah, the men that you fall in love with when you read aren't real. That's just your mental illness being like, yeah, you can never find a man like that in real life. I don't like this book anymore.
One or two, maybe 3 years I've been feeling nothing at all, but then
Okay, so this book does have a really good romance, but what I think is just the icing on top of the cake is that it has beautiful relationships between women, you know? Her sister and her best friend are like my favorite characters, and there's a part that literally almost made me cry because it's just like, it's so beautiful to have relationships like that. I'll read it. It says, alone in my apartment and not doing the one thing that made me feel at peace with the world, I've felt really lonely. Right now, though, I feel anything but. My vision blurs with unshed tears, and the gratitude I have for the two women in my living room is overwhelming. And it's like, it's not even that deep, but it just makes me so happy to read books like this. And also the guy, I'm really jealous of this fictional character. She's picking him up. Okay. She says, hey, I'll pick you up on Monday at 8. And he goes, oh, I wish that we were doing it tomorrow, but Monday works, I guess. And then he goes, I'll have breakfast ready. Tell me your coffee order. Please. Hi, I would like to apply for this job position. No. This is the problem. I can't read books like this because I'm going home.
I'm glad you still wanted to go. I know car trouble can ruin an entire day. This is big facts. It probably would have been more upsetting if I had to.
face lighting up my space, got me going like that, lighting up my space. You do like a candle in the dark. Ooh, getting warmer every time I'm with you. Yeah. You don't care what other people think of you or say, but you're so cool. You just spoiled with your love. Got no doubt that you are lovely. Oh, you're so lovely. Lighting up my space, you do like a candle in the.
Okay, so it is like 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. It's 6 o'clock. I just finished Better Than Fiction. I think I'm gonna rate this book 4 stars. It was thoroughly enjoyable. It took me a lot longer to read than I was expecting, but honestly, that's not a surprise because, like I said, I'm a slow reader. I have an hour and a half left on our timer. So I will have to do that later though because I have some stuff that I have to get done right now. And so yeah, I'm gonna take a quick break, do my last hour and a half before bed, I think. But as of this book, I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars. I will say that this book is definitely not a YA book. I thought it was, but I don't know why I did. I think I just assumed. It's definitely not a YA book. It is not closed door, so if that kind of stuff makes you uncomfortable, probably wouldn't read it. It wasn't as bad as in other books I've read, but it's still there, just in case you wanted to know that. As for my next book, I think, at least for tonight, I have Normal People checked out from the library. But I have to finish it before it returns itself. And I literally waited for like 7 months in line for this book, so I have to finish it before it returns itself. So we're gonna start that one. I don't know if we'll finish it in this readathon because I have so many other books that I want to read. I don't know. I'll see you later. So it's really late, but I finished my 8 hours and I got to chapter 13 of Anxious People. And this is I knew it would be an interesting book, but it's just really interesting. Like, the writing style is so different from anything I've ever read, and it's covering like really sensitive topics in like such a lighthearted way that I don't know. It's like, I don't know how it's not rubbing me in the wrong way, but it's not, you know, because I usually don't like it when people try and make light of certain topics, but it's not really bothering me in this book. And it might just be because I'm so tired and I'm not really having cohesive thoughts at the moment, but I'm pretty excited to keep reading because right now I'm so confused about like a lot of stuff that's going on. And yeah, it's kind of like a mystery, but not really. It's just because the author writes things in such a way that, I don't know. I've heard a lot about this author, Frederick Bachman. He has written a lot of well-known books. Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed. And I'll see you tomorrow morning for my next 8 hours. I don't want to do it. Well, I do. I had fun today. But also, I don't want to stay up this late again. It wasn't fun.
Everything is upside down. Don't know what's going on. I see you pass me by, and you don't walk alone. Yeah, yeah. I leave a lot to time and bottles to ease my mind and sorrows.
Welcome to day 2. I did read a little this morning with breakfast. I am enjoying Anxious People a lot, but then I had to stop to take some kiddos to school. And now that I'm home, I think I want to start a physical book. I'm gonna pick up a real physical book, and I think I'm gonna start To Kill a Kingdom today. I don't know if I'm gonna actually finish this today, because I have like a few chores that I have to do. And so I also have the audiobook for Ready Player One. I'm like halfway. I think I'm literally exactly halfway through this book. And I checked out the audiobook so that I could listen to that while I clean a little, because I do have a few things I need to do today. First, we're gonna read To Kill a Kingdom for an hour or two.
I leave it up to time and bottles to release my mind. I'm going down. I don't know what you found. I'm kinda jealous now. Ooh.
Good morning. So I just took a really fat nap. Yeah, so the clock says that we have 6.5 hours left, but I think I have 7 hours left. I don't know what's going on. I just fell asleep. Finn is such a bad example. Right, Finn? He just curls up with me, and then I can't help it. I just fall asleep when he's curled up with me because he's so comfy to snuggle with. It's okay. I literally don't know why I'm so tired today, because I did go to bed later than I expected yesterday, but then I slept in today, so I got the normal amount of sleep that I'm supposed to get. I just am really tired. And it actually doesn't help that I'm starting a new fantasy book. Like, this happens every time I start a new fantasy book. It takes me so much brain power and motivation to get through the first 50, 100 pages, just because you're learning so many new things. I feel like I can tell it's gonna be good later, but I just get so bored before the main characters meet each other. Like, just give me romance. That's all I want. I'm gonna get up and just start doing the things I have to do. I'm gonna start listening to Ready Player One.
I heard you moved uptown, down by the fancy side. Yeah, yeah. Ooh. I lead up to time and bottles to ease my mind and sorrows. I lead up to time and bottles to ease my mind while I'm going down.
Okay, so I decided to start reading Minnow Pea. I feel like this is just a really good book for me to try and read right now. Sorry, I'm trying to wait one sec. There, now I don't even have to block it with my head. Anyways, I changed shirts because I was really hot, but this is like 200 pages long, and it's a really entertaining book. It's like they're letters written between the people in this town. A quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. That sentence has all of the letters of the alphabet in it, and apparently the guy who invented that sentence lived on this island, and it's just so funny that like the letters are falling off of this memorial, and as the letters fall off, the people in the town like aren't allowed to use it, so the letters stop including like the letter Z and then the letter Q because the letters are falling down. It's a fun book, and I actually got this on Kindle. Like I said, I'm just so ahead of the game right now. I have this on Kindle right now, so I'm gonna switch to Kindle while I go eat. I have 5 hours of reading left, which feels like a lot. I feel like I've been reading all day, which I have been reading all day. But I can't take any breaks because I have to do something at 6:30. And right at this rate, I am supposed to finish at 6. So I'm just gonna read literally all day. Hi. So I keep changing, but I promise it's the same day. So this book is so fun, by the way. But in this book, they're all trying to create their own sentence that has all of the letters in the alphabet in it with as little repeats as possible. And it looks really fun, and I want to join in. So I have some like letter tiles here, and I'm going to try to do it. Okay, so in the book, the sentence has 35 letters in it, and there's like 26 letters in the alphabet. So there's 9 repeats of letters. But since I'm so ambitious, I'm just gonna go for no repeats and see if that's possible. Okay, so for whatever reason, this game does not have the full alphabet, so I had to improvise with the Q and the X and the Z. I have all the letters now, and I'm going to just knock this out of the park. I'm gonna be so honest. In the book, they're treating this like this is such a hard thing, but I feel like it's gonna be really easy. So I don't know, maybe I will eat my words, but this doesn't seem that hard. I feel like you need to start with Q, because that's a hard one. So we're gonna use the U. Let's try quiet. quietly on... The only vowel I have left is A, so that's not gonna work. Okay, wait. How about quart? Quarts of milk. Oh my. I just looked it up and apparently it is impossible to create a sentence without using two of the letters, so that's good to know now that I've spent so long on it. Although I did ask ChatGPT, and together, I mean, we both worked so hard. Together, we found a sentence. Pack my box with 5 dozen liquor jugs. Don't mind the missing U. I just couldn't find another U. It has 32 letters in it, and that is the goal of the people in this book. They're trying to write a sentence that only has 32 letters in it, but has every single letter in the alphabet. And I just did it for them, so you're welcome. I'm just kidding. Props to this guy, Mark Dunn, for writing so many in this book, because he's already written like 6 of them, and they're all better than I did. This is hard, so I take it back. This is hard. I'm sorry, wait. So this girl's about to get executed or something, but look. Sunshine Octangle. That's Sunday, October. Tuesday, November. This book is actually hilarious. Am I a genius? So this is me finishing this book. This book was genuinely one of the funniest books I've read in a long time. Not really intentionally. I think it was intentional, but it was weird because it was kind of a tragic story, but it's just funny because they couldn't write things the way they wanted to. Like, they were misspelling everything. Like, look at this page. I cannot decipher a single word on this page. It is so confusing. It takes so much brain power to read the end of this book. But it was hilarious, and I highly recommend it because it was just so quick and fast, but also really entertaining. I'm gonna be so honest, this was the most enjoyable book I've read in such a long time. Really, by the end of it, I felt like I was reading a different language. I pictured it as what Simlish would look like, because when you look at it without actually trying to read, it makes sense. You're like, oh, this is English. But then you actually try and read it, and it's like, what? Yeah, I'm really glad that I read this book. I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars because, I mean, while it was super fun and entertaining, it kind of was only that. A lot of the reviews I was looking at said that they gave it 1 star because they were like, it's masquerading as this deep book, and it's just full of nonsense and goofiness. And I'm like, I think that's the point. I think it's supposed to be nonsense and goofiness. Like, I just enjoyed how weird and stupid it was. But also at the same time, it was so sad. Like, one woman goes insane and she paints her body with lead paint and she dies of lead poisoning. Okay, yeah, that's a little sad, but it didn't really faze me because they were phrasing it in the weirdest way possible because they couldn't use the letters they wanted to use. So, I don't know, call me a horrible person, but I thought it was funny, even though technically there's really dark themes in there. Anyways, yeah, by the end of it, I literally wasn't reading, I was just staring at the page like, it was really hard for me to get through, but it was so funny. But now I definitely need not a book. So I'm gonna pick out a graphic novel to read. Okay, so this graphic novel is called In Real Life. I was thinking about this book because I was listening to Ready Player One earlier, and it was reminding me a lot of the premise of this book.
In the morning, when you walk away, my heart drops to the floor. They said it would get easier, but I don't know who for. Days move fast, and now I swear I can feel them slip away. But some things last forever, the love that never fades.
Okay, so I just finished In Real Life, and I also finished my 8 hours for the day before the sun went down. Isn't that crazy? So, this book was really cute. I think it's probably one of my favorite graphic novels I've ever read. It was a really short story, though. You can't really get too much depth and character development in a book that takes you an hour to read. I think I'm gonna end up rating it 3 stars, which sounds really low, but if you're looking to get into graphic novels, I would definitely recommend this one because I think it would give you a good mix of genres because I've literally only read romance graphic novels before this. So this was quite enjoyable. And that brings me to 3 books so far for the readathon. I am not looking forward to spending all day reading tomorrow. I know this is a readathon, but like, I don't want to do it. So I might extend it into the next day, which is Friday. So this might take 4 days, but it's okay. I don't really care. As long as I finish the actual 24 hours, it doesn't matter how long it takes me to do that. Hi guys. Welcome to the 3rd and final day of our challenge. This is an interesting challenge. It hasn't really been a challenge. It doesn't feel like a 24-hour readathon at all, because it's not. Today might be a little harder because I'm kind of hitting a wall and I need to like talk it out with you. I don't know what book I want to read next. So, I have started Anxious People already, and I need to finish this quickly because it will return itself to the library in like 4 days, I think. So I do need to finish that quickly, but it's not like dire, you know. I also started To Kill a Kingdom, but from this book, I'm kind of getting the vibes that I need to take this a little slower, like read it in chunks and not in one sitting. So I'm gonna save off on this one. Luckily, this is actually one of the books that I picked for my next, Finn. Goodness gracious, your feet are loud. Do you want to say hi? Hi! There's a window right there. Can you tell? There's probably a squirrel. Oh my gosh. That's our yard, Finn. He's like, I've never seen it from this angle. Anyways, this is going to be in another reading vlog. It's going to be in my Taylor Swift Picks What I Read reading challenge. So you will see me read this book, don't worry. But the smart thing to do would probably be to read Anxious People. And I think I'll try for a little while to get more into it, but I'm really not feeling that into it. And I'm kind of trying to mood read because I'm so close to being in a really bad reading slump. Like, I just don't want to fall into a reading slump. So I'm trying to like be extra careful and not make myself read anything I don't want to read. So I also have The House in the Cerulean Sea. I've been wanting to read this for a very long time, and I might start it today. I definitely won't finish this if I start it for this challenge, but you know, it doesn't matter as long as I'm reading. Also, the room I'm in right now is kind of dark. All of the walls are painted black, so when I'm not facing directly in the sunlight, it's probably gonna look really dark. I'm sorry, I bought a ring light and it's going to come in a few days because I realized it probably helps to have good lighting. You know, I should probably try and have good lighting in my videos. So for right now, it's gonna be dark, but look forward to hopefully better lighting later in my next videos. I don't know how to use a ring light. It's a learning curve. I will learn. But first, I'm gonna eat a peach.
Looking through an hourglass, the changes of the river pass. How long does the present last? The future now will soon be past.
Hello. I've got a really fun drink to try with you today. I took my little brother to a class and now I just have to sit here and wait for him. So I figured I'd bring my book and I'd buy some Starbucks and I would make it super fun. I also got a cake pop, which I'm kind of nervous about trying because it was kind of expensive. Like, how do people do this every day? Like, it's just so much money. The drink that I got was a pink drink, but I ordered it online, so I was able to make it really complicated because I'm too scared to ask for complicated drinks in person, so I only order complicated drinks online. Anyways, it's a pink drink, but it has oat milk in it. And I added peach juice because I just love peaches. Peach juice makes everything better. I ate a peach this morning. I love peaches. And then I added vanilla sweet cream cold foam. That is delicious. Holy moly. I'm never gonna stop ordering this now. Now to try this cake pop. Look at how cute it is. They're pink. They match each other. It's so cute. Okay, ready? I mean, it's not horrible. It's just like mushy cake. I should have known that's what a cake pop is. It's just mushy cake. Well, dang. See, it's not disgusting, but I don't think I'm ever gonna get it again. Like, I was ready to be done after one bite. It's so sweet that one bite is enough for me. But I'm still gonna finish it. Okay, now onto my book. Good news, I am enjoying Anxious People more. I'm hoping I can finish it today so that I can include it as part of this challenge. But yeah, so far, this guy, he's a really good author. I really like his writing style. It's so compelling, and I love how short the chapters are. And then also at the end of every chapter, there's always just like a little something that you're like, what? And then you gotta see what he means by that, you know? And it's just, I think he's a very clever writer, and I'm thoroughly enjoying myself. Book is so interesting because it just does such a good job at humanizing every single person in this story. Like, even the criminals, even the stupid teenagers, like, oh, I am loving this book. This is like really, really good. I waited in line for like 7 months for this book in the library. Which makes sense now because I can see why everyone wants to read it because it's so good. But when I first saw that, I was like, how good can this book really be? you know, but I am pleasantly surprised. Hi guys, I'm gonna be so honest. It has been a few days since I last filmed. I didn't finish my 8 hours, so technically I haven't finished my 24-hour readathon yet, but it's been a few days since I've read it. I have like 2 hours left on the clock, and I think I'm gonna be able to finish this book in that time. I just really wanted to finish this book with you guys so I can give you my thoughts, because so far it's a really good book. I'm really enjoying Anxious People. So yes, I'm baking because I'm home alone today, and every time I'm home alone I love to bake because I hate baking with other people in the kitchen. So every time I get the house to myself, I'm like, ooh, baking day. I was not expecting that. The whole time I could tell that it had a beautiful message, and that it was kind of more than it seemed to be, but wow. I don't know why wow, I am a mess. No, it's a good cry. I'm grateful I read that book. I think it's just so beautiful because it's something that we all know, that we're not alone in what we're feeling, but he just puts it into words so well, and I'm sure everyone can see themselves in one of those characters in that book, and it's just like, it's just so it's just so beautiful to know that you're not alone in what you're feeling, which is probably like the stupidest thing you've ever heard, because if I was watching this without reading that book, I would be like, yeah, I get it, I've heard that before. But regardless of how many times I've heard that, I still just feel like something is wrong with me for being like I am, you know, having bad days and for crying a lot. And it's just like, wow, I haven't cried like this for a long time. Well, I have, but I haven't, like, I don't know how to describe it. Whenever I haven't cried like good tears like this for a long time. Anyways, if you couldn't tell, I'm giving this book 5 stars. So, there's that. I'm going to take a few minutes to compose myself, and then we can do the final outro for this video. Okay. This is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I ended up reading 4 books in this video, which isn't really that impressive considering one of them is a graphic novel and one of them is under 200 pages. So, like I said, I'm a very slow reader. Slow readers join together because I feel like I'm the only one out there, but I know I'm not. So somebody else please validate me. So I started with Better Than Fiction, and I ended up rating this book 4 stars. Okay, I read Minnow Pea next, which is also a 4 stars, very funny. And then I read In Real Life, which was 3 stars. I forgot I rated this 3 stars, but I still really enjoyed it. I can't connect to a graphic novel in the same way I can a normal book because it's just never as long. And then we ended with a bang. And we finished Anxious People in this vlog, which is so exciting. Some really good books. I know that this is in the thumbnail for this video. I'm very sorry. I unintentionally created clickbait. I didn't read this book in this video. I meant to, with every intention I meant to, because I wasn't expecting to finish Anxious People in this vlog. So, I'm sorry I didn't read this book. If you really want to see me read it, tell me, and I will try to include it in, like, one of my reading challenges coming up. Mwah. You want to say goodbye to them? Say bye-bye. We love you. He always looks like he's panicking when I hug him. Mwah.